Here it came. This was the real test. If I didn't give up on the show after this, I was going to see it through to the bitter end. Whatever they called this mess, the lazy booking match is what I called it. No rules, anything goes, no match. We don't need the ring. The Jericho Appreciators against Moxley, Santana, Ortiz, Danielson, and Kingston. And by the way, is Jericho the wizard or the chameleon? Does he just latch on to the charisma of everyone around him and try to make it his own? He put a group together with no charisma specifically so he would stand out.
Oh, you got to hear his explanations for all this in the press scrum.
Oh,
he
Lord,
is so delighted with his ideas and his concepts. He's delusional. He thinks all of this is great. He thinks everything he's doing is great.
They all came out in white Guardian Angel ripoff outfits. Hager looked especially ridiculous in that getup. So 3 job guys, Fumblemouth, Hager, and Jericho. And now here comes the baby faces, all from the parking lot to Wild Thing. Bryan Danielson now looks like a bum like Jon Moxley. It couldn't go the other. He couldn't rub off on Moxley. Moxley's got to rub off on him. Regardless, I don't know what's the worst offense. Moxley being fucking fetishizing this goddamn idiot drug addict, bank robber Nick Gage and the whole garbage deathmatch wrestling business, or Moxley trying to have these fucking matches that just go nowhere and it's the same horse shit, or anything else about Moxley. What is the worst thing he's done? The worst thing he's done is deprive us of seeing the best wrestler in the world, Bryan Danielson, doing what he was doing. And now he's in this group with this dipshit. Fuck. I wish the fucking rehab hadn't taken so quick so we could add another few months without Moxley. So they started a quote-unquote fight in the arena and the bleachers and the floor, and Wild Thing was playing loud, blaring, incessantly. And they're all over the arena out in the crowd, and lawsuits are waiting to happen, stacked up and down the aisleway. And then they looped Wild Thing, and it played the whole way through and then started over again. As this is fucking horrible. You couldn't follow any of this shit. It's 10 guys paired off, 5 pairs each in different places in the arena. The cameras can't follow it. Nobody knows what's going on. They're watching different things. The music won't stop. It looked like something that Russo booked. And then there was Daddy Mac Daddy in the crowd, bleeding everywhere he's slinging his head and the blood is flying. There's another lawsuit. And what didn't look phony looked dangerous. There was no work. There was no excitement. They're hitting each other with shit that they're finding laying around and on concrete. So there's nothing exciting going on. It's just a fucking fake-looking mess. And then, thankfully, the best part of the match, Jericho got to the soundboard and smashed the soundboard and stopped that music. And as soon as the music dropped out, you can tell that the crowd wasn't making a goddamn sound. That music, my ears were ringing, and when they take that out, bleh. And they went outside. And they were in the breezeway, and somebody was in an elevator, and they were breaking tables. That Garcia gave Ortiz a pile driver off the apron onto the ring stairs. I don't know which is stupider, the guy giving it or the guy taking it. And of course, that wasn't a finish. Jim Ross in the middle of it, well, this is hard to call, which is his code for saying what I thought. This is everything wrong with professional wrestling today, all in the same fucking match. So I fast forwarded some. They took the top rope off. I don't know why they weren't using the ring anyway. Moxley was bleeding. He has to bleed because he loves the garbage. Kingston was the one in the freight elevator with somebody. And we barely got to see Danielson. He was trying to hide, probably out of embarrassment. They had a ladder. They had a barbed wire board. They broke several more tables. The heel used the fire extinguisher. They can't even get that right. The people don't pop if the fucking heel uses the fire extinguisher. It's the other way around. At this, I wrote in capital letters, everyone involved in this is a complete fucking idiot. So, I fast forward to the finish. What I think is going to be the finish. I thought it was going to be the finish when Eddie Kingston came in with a quote-unquote gas can. Danielson has the crossface on Jericho. Danielson is partners with Kingston, even though they had an issue on TV. Well, while Danielson has the crossface on Jericho, Kingston pours the quote-unquote gasoline on top of both of them. Despite the fact that they've already stooged themselves, because now the people in the front row know we can't smell any gas. And nobody would continue on the way they were if they'd had gas poured over the top of their fucking head. This is so fake and phony and insulting, and now they got Danielson involved in it. Danielson and Kingston get in a fight. Moxley separates them. Jericho hits everybody with a chair. Moxley gets knocked off the ring onto the barbed wire board and gets stuck in that. I was happy to see that. I'd like to see him have both of his ears ripped off sometime. Jericho hits Danielson with the turnbuckle and gets a 2 count. This can't even be the finish. More fake punches. Danielson now makes a comeback on Jericho and Hager, but everybody else in the match has disappeared. It will not end. And finally, Jericho gets the lion tamer, such as it was, on Danielson, and Hager wraps the top rope around his neck and chokes him out. And not only was this the most embarrassing thing that I've seen in I don't know how long, and the goddamn best wrestler in the whole match and the world is the one who got beat in this abomination. But people wonder why nobody wants to watch wrestling anymore, and they see fucking matches like that and they don't put 2 and 2 together. This fucking sucked. I don't even want to waste my time tearing the rest of it. It's just insulting to do. What could they possibly have in their mind that thinks that's good for their business or anybody else's?
I think Tony was convinced of things by Chris Jericho, and he went along with it. He likes the idea, and Chris Jericho likes to do a lot of stupid stuff, and sometimes it's better at hiding his inabilities as a wrestler. Although in some cases he looks awful in these things. In some cases he looks like the worst one in all these things, even in a brawl. If I can give any positives at all, William Regal stayed away. I don't know where he was. Secondly, Danielson, even in this, even with whatever this was, him yelling, I'm going to kick his fucking head in, the way he looked like a guy in a fight. It was great. And Kingston. First of all, Kingston's
you know what? I'm off Eddie Kingston. He could have said, no, I'm not going to goddamn take a fucking supposed phony gas can out there and pour gas over their heads.
They all could have said,
fucking ridiculous.
Everyone could have said no to everything, but Eddie Kingston was the most over guy. When they announced people at the beginning, babyface and heel, he was the most over one in this match.
Yeah, a few more times of people seeing him pouring fake gas and say, well, he's just a fucking fake like the rest of them.
I don't think people are going to get upset about that. I don't think that's what's going to upset anyone.
That's the stupidest thing God.
But I think Eddie Kingston, again, they're missing a moment to do something with him. He's the everyman that people like to get behind, and it feels like they never really get any traction with that. And the other story is Jericho wins the match, beating Danielson. How did they convince anyone that was a good idea for the ending? I'm going to beat Danielson. That also means this isn't going to end. There's going to be more to this feud. This is terrible. Chris Jericho has put together the worst body of work of any major wrestler in a major promotion.
Remember when the show started, we thought he's the star of this show. He's the only one anybody knows. He's going to fucking run away with this thing. And instead, it's going down, 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 down.
You should hear him. I'm going to play you audio later from the scrum. He's now talking like Omega. this is my art and this is what I do. He's so in his own head, he doesn't realize that all of his ideas are terrible. And Tony Khan just sits there nodding along, but we'll play that later. This was not very good. And the other thing was, I started laughing at a certain point, just like the commentators, just like Shivani and Excalibur having a party during this thing. I was laughing just because it wouldn't end. Nothing would end. And it was before this match when I tweeted out, how many more matches are there? Because there were still a lot of matches and it was so fucking late. Like I said, East Coast, it felt really late at this point.
This match wouldn't have been any good if it was the first thing you saw after you got out of prison for 20 years. As a matter of fact, if I have to be the old guy screaming, hey, you kids, get off my lawn. Well, these kids, I don't want them on my fucking lawn. I don't want them in my yard. I don't want them anywhere around. So these children are not allowed to play on my lawn.
Well, perhaps, Jim, if you had a host that was ready with a transition to talk about their lawns and their Sunday lawns, they would be ready, but you have what you have.
Well, I'll tell you, Brian, it was Sunday, and there was some kids on my lawn, and they were really making a mess of it. I hate when these kids come in and they trample my lawn, and they piss on it, and they leave all kinds of bare spots and dead spots. And, of course, they all brought weeds. All these guys have weeds on them, and they brought weeds, and they put that on my lawn. So I have a lawn now that has bare spots and weeds and needs green grass and fertilization. What do? I find the folks at Sunday Lawn, and I go and visit getsunday.com. Because, folks, if you dread taking the time and effort to fertilize your lawn, now you can look forward to it, because with Sunday, their lawn care products are so quick and easy. You don't have to go to the store. They deliver everything right to your door, and without the harsh chemicals. It's made with ingredients like seaweed and iron and molasses. And I think there's actually, if I'm not mistaken, there's even some marshmallow in there.
You may be mistaken.
Well, I could be, but it goes good with molasses, marshmallows. I'll tell you what, just take a nibble of this stuff, folks. When it comes to you.
Do not nibble on this stuff. No, do not tell them to do that.
Well, no, you're not supposed to eat a lot of it, but just take a taste before you spray it on your lawn. And
No, do not do that.
The weeds, the bare patches, the pet spots, they will all go away. They've got everything you need at Sunday, from fertilizer to seeds to weed control, as I said, delivered to your door. All you do is just go to Get Sunday, that's G-E-T, and you know how to spell Sunday, getsunday.com, put in your address, and they lawn analysis tool thing that they have on there figures out where you live. As a matter of fact, they'll pinpoint you and then report your whereabouts to the government. But they'll see where you live, and they will analyze the soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan specifically for your yard. Now, of course, you should tell them, for example, if you have an inordinate amount of, manure in your yard, that could throw things off. And also, if you have dead bodies planted in various places, as they decompose, that can throw the pH value of the soil off. So tell the folks at Sunday all these things. Have you got a lot of shit in your yard? Have you got a lot of dead bodies buried there? Is it a cemetery? Whatever the case. And they will figure out the exact products you need to use with your family in mind, so your kids won't be poisoned and the dogs and the pets won't be poisoned. They can go out and they can roll around in that grass. They can roll it up and smoke it. They can do whatever they want with it, and it won't hurt them. And right now, Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off, because full season plans start at just $129, but you can get 20% off when you go to getsunday.com/JCE. 20% off of your custom yard plan, lawn plan, grass plan. You know what they say? Gas, grass, or ass, nobody rides for free. Getsunday.com/JCE.